So over the last few weeks, I know for sure that we've gotten some new preppers that have been added to our family, and that happens month to month. And it's so easy just to keep making videos and just keep moving forward. And sometimes you kind of forget, whoa, what was it like when I first started? So I wanted to do a video just to kind of reconnect with some that might be newer preppers or preppers that might have been just this last few months and looking for some new ideas or some encouragement to keep prepping. So when I was first prepping some years ago and I started looking for information, well, finding videos is invaluable and it's great information, and people are always researching for prepping and different ways to build your pantry and such. So I want to focus on 1 month. So if you're newer to prepping, or maybe you just kind of gave up and now you're back and you're just still wishy-washy on being consistent, I want to encourage you to stay consistent and every single week add something to your preps, your pantry, if you have other stashes that you have around the house. But let's focus on the first month. So the first thing you should do is get enough water for you and your family for at least a month, because that's our first goal. That's your first step. I like to set small goals and then you add to those goals. So as you're building up your water, look at how much you guys consume in a day. Then you multiply that for the week, and then you multiply that for the weeks for the month, 4 or 5 weeks to fill up your month. You want to overestimate a little bit from what you're drinking, because you want to have a little extra for some sanitation purposes and also for cooking purposes. So just get you a good solid month worth of water. You can even have some in the big carry 5 gallon, 6 gallon jugs. You can have some you can buy in the big flats of water for quick grabs. You could do the 1 gallon jugs of water. And you can either come up with other things. You can even, if you wanted to, invest in a Berkeley system and you have water filtration. That way, if you're out, you're rain catching or anything, you have extra means to filter water. So that's the very first step I want you to do, is to make sure that you're securing some sort of a source of water for you and your family. So once you've kind of gotten the water out of the way, now the sky's the limit of what you can do. First of all, take an inventory of what you guys eat on a regular basis. For the month, you might have a weekly menu. You might have that weekly menu stretched out and you have a monthly menu. So kind of see what you and your wife, your kids, your husband, see who all eats what, and come up with a plan to focus on the most important items for your pantry. And also, I know a lot of it's being budget friendly, and sometimes people ask the question, well, what can I get for my preps that's not going to break the bank? So I always lay this down as the foundation. It's easy to pick up. This is for anybody. This is for anyone just wanting to beef up their preps. If you just want a quick kind of a shot in the arm, get some extra preps built in, is your rice and beans. And it's just, especially the rice. You can get these in large bags. You get them in small bags. There's all kinds of things you can cook and eat with rice. It's very inexpensive, and the dry beans. But now look, if you're buying these, make sure you've at least practiced using them if you never have before. Make sure that you have taken some time and practiced cooking with your preps. So if you've never had, get you 1 bag of each and then begin practicing cooking. Then make sure that you know how to cook them, and that everybody does eat them, and that they like them enough that where if you needed a quick emergency grab, you have some rice and beans on hand. The other option for the bean parts too, and this mixes it up, and these are obviously very quick and very easy, canned beans. You can get all kinds of varieties. These happen to be black beans. Just to have the extra beans, you could heat these up in a pinch. A lot of these come with water already in them, so you wouldn't have to tap into your water supplies for the cooking. You just heat these up and you're good to go. Pour these with some rice, and you've got a great meal. And again, you can shop, look for sales, and you can slowly build up an inventory of some beans. Now, as you're buying cans from the store, some people like to write the date that you either purchased it or the best by date right on top, just so you know for your rotation purposes that you can rotate things to the front. I'm not going to get into a teaching moment about how long you can use cans beyond their dates and things. Right now, we're focusing on a month. You should always be able to rotate your pantry very easily for the first year's worth of stash. So beans, you could get cans of chili. Things if your family will eat chili, get cans of chili and such. Also, another easy, quick that preppers like to grab, canned veggies, some canned fruits, just to have some on hand. So again, kind of see, what you guys use on a regular basis throughout the week. Multiply that times 4 or 5. That'll get you a solid month worth of some veggies and fruits in there. Sometimes canned pastas, they're just quick, easy grabs. Hey, look, the power goes out. There's a storm that comes through, and your power might be out for a week or two, or anything in life that might happen. All you do is open this up, dump it into a pot, kick on your propane grill, your propane stoves. If you have the camping stoves, any type of alternate heat that you might have, and you can heat these right up and they're ready to eat right away. So it's very simple, very easy to do. Getting some canned chickens, some canned tuna. If you've watched my videos before, we talk about the Keystone brands. We've got all these other ideas and things, tuna packs, and so, but the very cheap, inexpensive way, just go to you can go to the dollar stores, to Walmart, if you have a Kroger's or whatever your local store might be. Look for sales, look for opportunities just to pick up some cheap, easy. Again, these are super easy, like the tuna. You can pretty much open that up. It already has the water in there. You just drain that, and they're ready to eat right away. Or the packs of tuna, they're good to go. So same with the chicken. It's already been cooked. It's ready to eat. If you want it heated up or dumped with some rice or something, it just gives you different varieties of things. Look, if you're going to have to survive on prepped up food, you want to have a little bit of variety built in, not just all rice and beans and hey, that's what I'm living on. So you have some varieties and things to change up what you're eating, because you're already going through some sort of a scenario in life. You want to make it as easy for yourself as you can. Try to make it a little bit enjoyable as much as you can. Give your family some variety. So obviously some of that canned stuff's good. Having some extra pasta sauce, again, super easy pasta sauce. And you get the noodles, get your carbohydrates. You got something that's a different type of a meal. It's something that's simple. And again, it's an easy thing if your family does eat these type of meals to prep up on that and get that set up. Peanut butter is always a good staple. Getting a few jars of these and backups, and again, rotate through. When you empty a jar, you rotate your stock, and then you go to your grocery list, and you write down peanut butter. We got peanut butter stocked up. Well, that's where we got to keep adding to that. When you use something, make sure you mark it down. That's a common mistake. If you're new in prepping and you begin using your preps, it's very easy to somebody to use up the last bit of peanut butter or the last bit of jelly or maybe the mayonnaise or the mustard. And well, there's 2 more in there, so we're good. And no one writes it down. No one says anything. And then before you know it, you're like, what happened to all the backups I had? I had backups. Well, they're gone because nobody wrote it down on the grocery list. So keep an ongoing running list and get the buy-in on your family. Make sure everybody, they may not agree with prepping or want to deal with prepping, but if they respect you to help with that part of helping is at least write down what you've used, what you've finished, write that down. So that's an easy way for everybody to jump on board, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Obviously, different things, size, especially if you have kids, just having some feel-good foods around, macaroni and cheese. People still like to eat the ramen noodles, so we've got those too. Cereals and different things. Again, you just kind of watch your dates with some of the cereals and things. They do go stale, so you don't want to prep too far on those. But to get a month of everything, you should very easily be able to accomplish that. Spices, and you can see we have the spice rack with all the different spices. Again, it's easy if you empty out a bottle, make sure you write it down because you want to keep that rotated and keep that in stock. I mentioned briefly like the mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, your condiments. Just have a backup of everything. Get a rule of thumb if you can go through your pantry and literally have backups to all your stuff. And that's a great first step. You're going to reach that 1 month prep, especially if you focus on your freezer. At Thanksgiving time, after Thanksgiving, they were selling the turkeys for dirt cheap. So I made sure I picked up an extra one just to store, and I still have it in the freezer today. And having a big turkey that you can have to lean on, having some other, rotate extra chicken breast, some different pork, so make sure you've rotated, because remember, everything has a different shelf life and freezer life. If you want to take it a step further, and at some point when you add to your game dehydrating and canning, those will be options that you'll have at your fingertips. But for the sake of, again, the beginnings video of trying to just encourage you not to take off too much, a bite bigger than you can chew, it's about getting backups to all of your things, making sure you have backups in your freezer. Have a backup. We'll see. Well, I'm used to just buying chicken when I need it. Okay, that's great. But what if that chicken's not there one day when you need it? You need to make sure you've already had some in the freezer. So when you go to buy the chicken, just again, keep it rotated. Hamburger meat, same type of thing. I've seen in my store this past year, there's been times you go in and either the price has gone way, way up on something, and I'm like, man, I wished I already had it so I didn't have to pay these prices. It's forced, now I'm forced to pay an extra price on this item, where if I was doing the rotation prepping, I could wait to maybe buy that next week to when it goes cheaper or when something goes on sale. You've just saved money. So do you see how this works? It's not just prepping and saving for the end of the world. It's prepping about watching the price influxes and being able to ride those sales that they go through cycles. And I've seen it before. One of my favorite places to shop, we don't have one local here, so I don't go there as often, as a Publix. They do the BOGOs, right? The buy one, get one freeze. And I would ride the sales. I'd see it there in rotation. And I'd stock up, buy one, get one freeze, plenty of items. And then I just wouldn't buy those items again until they came back around on the cycle. Those items became buy one, get one free again. And I would go and I'd purchase them again. So you can do that with different places, different grocery stores. Learn how to use your preps to make you money and to save you money. And a lot of that is watching the cycles, the sales. When you're at the stores, look for the manager markdowns. Look for the special deals that they'll put the yellow stickers on and mark things down. Kroger's does the woohoo stickers. So if you can find markdowns, stock up on that item while it's on sale, while it's cheap. Prep it. Get it wrapped up real good for the freezer. Make sure it doesn't get freezer burn. And then you can move forward. And like I said, it's not all just about cans and stuff. It could also use your refrigerator and your freezer to your advantage. With eggs, I always keep a backup because we do go through eggs. And I don't have chicken. So I have to buy eggs. I buy the big 18 packs, but I always have two. One that we're using and always a backup. And the way that we use eggs, I never waste them. I never run out. So there's just things that you figure out that fits your needs and your family. Other quick ideas, like I talked about this before, like on my Thursday video, I showed this one. Quick grab packets. Again, if you're in an emergency situation, power's been out. We talked about that. Anything that happens, you have quick grabs, things that you can throw a meal together in a hurry. Okay, gravy packs. I even have some gravy in a jar. So it's not maybe just always one thing. Now, if you have potatoes, go ahead and mash your own potatoes. You're good to go. You don't even need these. But it's good to have these just in case you don't have those potatoes. Or you went to the store and they didn't have potatoes or the prices changed. It's nice to have backups. It's nice to have plan B and maybe a plan C, right? That's what we do. So you can set up your pantry however you want, and you make it workable for you. But I highly, highly recommend working on that month. Now, once you've reached that month, well, how do I get to 2 months? Well, whatever it took you in your mind when you put out your plan for the 1 month, you just double that. And you can focus maybe more on the beans and the rice, things that keep a little more shelf life on them. And the cans keep a good shelf life. And once you kind of reach that goal, at some point you're like, well, I want to start picking up 1 or 2 items here and there, maybe some freeze-dried stuff. I just use Mountain House. It's just what I use. I've tried it. I like it. It fits my needs. And there's freeze-dried things they can keep for 30 years. Now you're not focusing so much on rotating and having to always be like on the go. And you can put those away and they're good. They're stored up and they're put away from your pantry. You don't have them anywhere near, and you can store them and forget them. And that's another small way that you can chip away for the long-term storage of items. So once you've gotten that first month, it opens it wide up. But if you're new and you're looking for information, I hope this helps you. Now, the other things you can do are go back and watch some of the other videos that are even on my channel. Go through the playlist, go through, and there's every Thursday we talk about food items and different things. And there's some other videos on there that you might find that are helpful. But I encourage you, if you haven't started, get started. If you've been starting, but maybe you haven't taken it very seriously, hey, there's no better time than now to do it. The stores have what you need right now. So if you go there right now, you'll be able to get the things that you actually use. And the prices are still to where they're not unbearable right now. Now with the changes coming up with maybe economy, maybe the Suez Canal being blocked and things that you don't even know about yet. Like we said on my Friday night live stream, who was to even guess that the Suez Canal was going to be blocked? Nobody predicted that. It just happened, and there could or could not be chain reactions of prices, of shipments, of things that might come from that, with all the ships that are just backed up full of supplies with nowhere to go. And if they have livestock and perishables, all those things will be spoiled or gone. And you need to just have a plan in place to be prepared for the what ifs of life. The what if this happens, or what if the things we don't even think about. I hope you guys are having a great start to the week, and I will look forward to talking to you guys later this week. All right. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up on the way out. Appreciate you guys. Bye.